Good morning, everyone. We are Aarohi and Abhinav, and today we'll be talking about the leadership principles of Leymah Gbowee, a woman who proved that true leadership doesn't come from power, but from purpose and action. Leymah Gbowee is a leader who challenged the idea that authority is necessary to create change. At a time when Liberia was torn apart by civil war, she mobilized ordinary women to stand together and demand peace. Through unity and nonviolence, she led one of the most impactful movements in modern history, transforming collective voices into a force that reshaped an entire nation. She was born in 1972 in Liberia and grew up during a period of intense civil conflict. Her childhood was shaped by violence, instability, and uncertainty. She witnessed how war affected families, especially women and children. Later, she pursued social work and trained in trauma healing and peace building, which gave her both the knowledge and the purpose to bring change. Early challenges. Growing up during war meant living in constant fear. She faced displacement, economic hardship, and limited opportunities for growth. But more importantly, she experienced firsthand the emotional and psychological trauma that war inflicted on communities. These challenges didn't break her, instead, they shaped her resilience. Turning point in her journey came when she realized something powerful. Women were the most affected by the war, yet their voices were the least heard. This realization pushed her to shift from being just a survivor to becoming a leader. Through her work in trauma healing, she understood the deeper scars left by conflict and decided to take action. Instead of remaining silent, she chose to mobilize women to demand peace. Movement with women. She initiated the Women of Liberia Mass Action for Peace. This movement brought together women from different communities, uniting both Christian and Muslim women, and a shared goal. They organized non-violent protests, prayers, and sit-ins, creating a strong and visible movement. What started as small gatherings soon became a powerful collective force that could no longer be ignored. Key actions. The success of the movement came from consistent and strategic action. Women organized daily sit-ins and peaceful protests, keeping pressure on leaders continuously. They led large-scale demonstrations that demanded national attention. Through disciplined non-violent resistance, they ensured their voices were heard. Most importantly, they forced leaders to attend peace talks in Ghana and even staged a blockade to prevent them from leaving without an agreement. Now, Abhinav will take us through the impact of this movement.
The impact of their efforts was historic. In 2003, Liberia's civil war finally came to an end. The country began moving toward democracy, and for the first time, the power of women in peace building was globally recognized. Leymah Gbowee's leadership was later honored with the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011, marking her as a global symbol of non-violent change. At the core of her leadership was a clear and powerful vision: peace built through unity. She believed in a future free from violence, where women were not just participants but leaders of change. Her vision shows us that lasting change begins with a strong belief in better future. One of her most impactful contributions was empowerment. She transformed ordinary women, many of whom saw themselves as victims, into leaders. She gave them a voice, confidence, and a sense of purpose. Through collective action, she proved that leadership can emerge from anyone, regardless of their background. Courage was at the heart of everything she did. She stood against violence and injustice even when it was dangerous. She took risks for peace and remained firm under pressure. Her journey reminds us that courage is not about being fearless, but about choosing to act even when fear exists. Another key principle was collaboration. She brought together people from different religions and communities, building trust where there was once division. By uniting diverse groups under a shared goal, she created a movement that was stronger than any individual effort. Perhaps the most powerful lesson from her story is leadership without authority. She held an no official position, no political title, yet she influenced the decisions of national leaders. This shows that true leadership is not about titles or power, it is about influence action, and the ability to inspire others.
For me, it's important not just to go out there and talk, but that my talk is matched with the action. I don't think I would be where I am if I didn't have my faith in God.
Leymah Bavi's journey teaches us that leadership is a combination of empathy, courage, and action. Change does not always begin with powerful individuals. It often starts with ordinary people who choose to stand up. Her story reminds us that even one voice, when united with others, can create unstoppable change, and ultimately, it is unity that turns small efforts into powerful movements.